Binance, if you don't know, is probably the biggest crypto exchange. It was much bigger than FTX, even at the height of FTX. And their CEO recently pled guilty to money laundering. Do we know anything else about it? I don't know. Let's find out.
Binance agrees to pay $4.3 billion, and their CEO has pled guilty to violating money laundering rules and has stepped down, claiming, quote, "I make mistakes and I must take responsibility." Now, in exchange for a king's ransom and the king's head, the DOJ is expected to settle their criminal investigation with Binance. Some think this is the end for the world's largest crypto exchange. Others believe it's a glorified speeding ticket that's a net win for crypto. But what should you believe? It depends on how much you trust Binance. Let me explain. First,
zero! I trust them zero, bro. Not one bit. And also, before we move on here, I just want to be clear that, like, if you are an exchange like Binance and you have to pay a $4 billion fine at the same time as all your customers are spooked and start pulling their money out, I've already heard that 1.2 billion got pulled out in one day after this. They're not gonna have the money. It's gonna be another fucking FTX bank run situation. If you have money in Binance, get it the fuck out. I would not trust your safety of your funds in there.
First, context. For the past year, there's been criminal and civil investigations into Binance.
It would be so fucking funny. Someone in chat said this. I am yoiking this. If they tried to pay their fine with an NFT or a token. If they said this is a $4.3 billion monkey JPEG that we just printed, we're settled. This is good. All wrapped up here. Thanks for doing business with you. You want to hold on to that.
With the SEC, DOJ, and CFTC all investigating accusations of Binance accepting U.S. investors while not being regulated, and then trying to hide that fact. Why would they do that? Well, according to their CEO, Changpeng Zhao, who I'll be calling CZ, quote, "If we blocked U.S. users from day one, Binance will not be as big as we are today. It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission." So,
Based.
Money is the answer to why they did something illegal. It's always the answer, right? This is because, as CZ claims, 20 to 30% of Binance's potential revenue was from the U.S.
You know what's funny is, though, like, obviously in the instance of financial crime, it's all bad no matter who does it, but this is a playbook that people do run. Like, Uber ran this. You know, a lot of companies, they're just completely dodging regulations, just do it till they get big enough to influence the regulations. And FTX almost got there. Like, not Binance, but FTX in the US almost got to the point where they were big enough to buy politicians, to get re-regulated. They almost made that playbook work.
It's market. So no wonder they kept U.S. investors. But after years of no control, CZ eventually acknowledged the risk of allowing U.S. customers. He says, quote, "We do need to block by IP and also know your customer." Now, this might seem like a step in the right direction, except for a critical decision. CZ maintained a subset of valuable US users on Binance. Basically, they kicked off the broke people to look good, but conspired to keep their high-value clients, quote, contacting US VIP users offline through direct phone calls, leaving no trace. The VIP team would allegedly register a new separate account for an offshore entity while the user transferred their holdings to the new account. So it would look like that person was no longer from the US. According to CZ himself, the company had to be very careful to skirt the line using careful language. Quote, "We cannot say they are US users, and we want to help them. We say we miscategorize them as US users, but actually they are not." So that's bad, but it actually gets worse. See, the new filing from the DOJ shows...
This all was in writing? They were just openly saying we're committing fraud in writing and they got it all? I'm just shocked. They didn't even use Signal or anything? They're just like, yeah, here's an email, CC fraud.
These problems extended beyond the US to Binance outright allowing money launderers to move money through their platform. One compliance employee even wrote, quote, "We need a banner. Is washing drug money too hard these days? Come to Binance. We got cake for you." What? An example of this was when Hydra, a popular Russian darknet marketplace, transferred $106 million in Bitcoin to Binance.com and laundered their money through it. But not only did Binance have little to no money laundering controls in place, even when illegal funds were found, Binance would make special exceptions for their VIPs. In one example, a user was told to be careful with his flow of funds, especially from darknet like Hydra. He can come back with a new account, but this current one has to go, it's tainted. But what is the point of flagging money laundering if you're just going to tell the guy to start a new account and try harder next time to not get caught? And I bring these issues up not just because they're pertinent to the settlement, which they are, but also because
it's been obvious for a long time the only people using crypto day to day for trading, for non-speculative purposes, like most people that buy crypto buy it to hold it and hope it goes up. They're not using it to buy and sell things. The other people that are actually using it to buy and sell things are all doing it for illegal purposes. The only actual marketplace for using crypto to buy and sell things is like fucking drug trafficking, human trafficking, illegal shit. That's the only use case. It's that and speculative hodling. There's been nobody's buying a fucking Hyundai with Ethereum, bro. That hasn't happened yet, not once.
Because these issues demonstrate a problem Binance might have moving forward. Setting aside for a moment this $4.3 billion fine, part of this agreement is the expectation Binance is gonna stop these illegal activities, clean up their act, have an independence.
You smuggle one person and suddenly you get called a trafficker. One person, dude. Like, we don't make mistakes.
Compliance monitor for 3 years, but you have to ask yourself, was Binance so large and attractive to crypto people in spite of its loose money laundering controls, offshore, unregulated status, or was it because of it? What percentage of Binance's revenue vanishes overnight with increased scrutiny? I don't know the answer, but it certainly isn't zero. And speaking of challenges Binance faces, now let's put the $4.3 billion fine back on the table, which itself is a problem. Can Binance afford to pay it without dipping into customers' funds and becoming insolvent? Well,
no.
Once again, it depends on how much you believe Binance. See, Binance regularly publishes a proof of reserves, which shows they have customer assets backed one-to-one and billions of dollars on top of it. According to those, yeah, it's a drop in the bucket. But proof of reserves don't fully show liabilities, causing people to call for a full audit for years now. But each time, it's met with a less than satisfactory response from their CEO.
Thus far, you haven't disclosed your liabilities, and I wonder why that is and whether you will.
Yeah, so we are working with the firms to do the audited financials, liabilities, etc. The audits don't reveal every problem. So,
no, but an auditor would reveal that.
I like the idea of saying the audits don't go far enough. It's like a used car salesman trying to sell you a car. Yeah, you can look under the hood, but that's not going to tell you every problem. So we're going to keep that shut. No, you need a full deep dive inspection on this car, and I want you to buy it. Go ahead and first. Don't open her up though.
CZ, if you could get a Big Four auditor to say that, if you're saying that some of them don't want to work with you, that raises questions too. They don't want to work with you because you don't have the files and the data that would make them feel comfortable signing off and giving that stamp of approval?
Actually, many of them don't even know how to audit crypto exchanges. They don't really when they audit, they're very used to auditing a firm.
Does Coinbase, CZ? Coinbase has a Big Four. Coinbase has a Big Four auditor.
Actually, I don't look at Coinbase. I don't really look at other.
though.
Now, hold on, wait a second. Or you're saying you can't get an audit, but then refuse.
We weren't following. Coinbase is the one based in America that, again, not a great business, but is audited by a Big Four firm. And his Binance is not. And he's saying they can't figure it out. They figured it out for Coinbase. It's not, they're just going to check your inflows and outflows, your debts and your assets, dude.
To acknowledge that your competitors are working with auditors, that's a red flag. And it's pretty clear, look, we just don't know the full story. And I don't bring this up like as a boogeyman to scare you for no reason, telling you there's a monster under your bed, maybe. It's something you legitimately need to think about if you have money on Binance. How much do you trust Binance is telling the truth and trust them with your money? It's ultimately up to you. For me, I've always told you guys, keep your money off these exchanges because what you don't know can hurt you. Just listen to Binance's CEO answer questions about his company's ability to pay steep fines earlier this year and ask yourself, does he sound confident?
Would you be able to handle it if somebody asked you for $2.1 billion back? Would that be okay? Would you be able to still withstand things?
We're financially okay.
Including you have $2.1 billion?
We're financially okay. Okay. Don't pocket watch me. Okay, miss, don't pocket watch me. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing good. I can afford gas. I can put a roof over my kids' heads. Don't need to worry about whether or not I can afford $2.1 billion.
If somebody came to claw that back, you'd still be fine.
We'll let the lawyers handle it. We are financially strong.
Honestly, the right answer is yes. We're financially strong is just not good enough. It's literally one of those answers that means nothing. And by the way, the real fine is double that. So especially in light of that large layoffs at the company earlier this year, I'm personally not optimistic about Binance's future. Although, as I said, without a more detailed look at their finances, maybe from an auditor, we can't know for sure. But whether or not you're personally optimistic or pessimistic, I think there's one thing we can all come together and learn from on this story. Questions, concern, skepticism of a company, it's not FUD. It's basic due diligence.
I think if we all put our money into Binance, we can make sure they have enough money to cover their expenses. You know what I'm saying? We're thinking about this the wrong way. How do we help? If we keep getting scared and pulling our money out, how is that gonna help? Let's join hands. Would investing in shitcoin help? You know it, bro. What problem would that not help with? What problem on God's green earth cannot be solved with a shitcoin that we can invest in? I think nothing. When people are scared, be opportunistic. Are you quoting Warren Buffett as fucking justification for fucking punting your money into a failing money laundering crypto exchange? Warren Buffett was talking about when Coca-Cola price goes down, buy. He's not talking about fucking dumping your money in a recently indicted CEO's crypto exchange to fucking hodl it to the moon. That's not, you are twisting the words of a stable and wise investor.
And the crypto industry has a troubling trend of pretending otherwise. Earlier this year, CZ started dismissing FUD, fake news attacks, with the number 4. Like, he would just post pictures of himself whenever there were problems at Binance and just do this, as if it magically warded off problems. So to see that same guy less than 12 months later pleading guilty to charges, it has a level of embarrassment that I've almost never seen before. I say almost.
I kind of like that. That's kind of based. Just say 4. Just ignore it. Just say 4. It's fun. CZ's a big Faker fan. CZ was just talking about the number of championships Faker was going to have after this year, bro. 4 rings, king. Great mid laner of all time.
Because technically, I saw this piece of media on the most humble billionaire the day before that, from the same guy who also made the Sam Bankman-Fried puff piece. And it's definitely worse than this. So as we put CZ on the wall of shame, joining many other crypto people, I want to leave you with this wonderful piece of cringe. And as always,
I want to watch that.
Hey, this is the richest guy in the world from crypto, and you don't even know him.
Hi, my name is CZ.
He made over $60 billion, but his mom still called him stupid. Let me tell
you. The way he said that is very funny to me. Just the look on his face, that was really good.
Tell you his incredible story.
Were you shocked that it got so big?
Yes, I was.
Wow.
CZ is just a normal guy. He was born in...
Dude, you can tell he's such a bad... Like, CZ has so little riz in interviews that they have to cut it so... They have to cut it to basically the yes or no answer so they can go back to the... That is such a harsh cut. Yes, I was.
CZ is just a normal guy. He was born in China, grew up in Vancouver, Canada, and now lives in Dubai. But his incredible story starts at a poker table in 2013. He was playing poker with a few of his friends when one of them said,
"Hey, have you heard about the Bitcoin?"
The Bitcoin back then was new, and CZ didn't know about it.
So when I first heard about Bitcoin, I was like, Bitcoin, what is it? The name sounded good, Bitcoin. That was a really great naming. And two of my friends...
The world's so fucked up. This guy ever had billions of dollars. The world is so fucked up. 2021 will go down in history. Zoomers, if you're pissed that you feel like you're never going to be able to get a handle on your financial future and things are slipping away and you're worried about the state of the world, at least bear witness to the fact that you got to be there and online in 2021. Probably the funniest bubble. This is going to be in the books, dude. Bitcoin. It just sounded good.
Friends were talking about this is the internet, money for the internet. And I was like, this is fascinating.
Most humans would keep playing poker and make fun of Bitcoin, but CZ did not. He wanted to understand it. He downloaded the white paper of Bitcoin, printed it, and read every single word.
This white paper is only 9 pages long, but I knew this is the future for money.
Few months later, he became convinced.
I became convinced that cryptocurrency is going to be the future and it's going to stay. When I first used the email, I knew that it was going to stay. It was so much easier. When you first use social media, you just knew. And when I came across Bitcoin, I knew this is going to stay.
His conviction was so strong that he sold his entire apartment and invested it in Bitcoin. $1 million. And what did his poker friends think?
Most of my friends thought I was crazy because I was selling an apartment in Shanghai to go into crypto, and I was quitting.
Actually genius. Sold a Shanghai apartment right before the crash to buy Bitcoin right before the boom. This guy's a goat, dude. Wait a minute.
My job. So I was jobless, homeless. By most people's definitions, that is crazy.
And they were right. He was crazy. In the next 2 months, Bitcoin crashed by 70%, and he lost $700,000. Even his own mother told him he was a stupid kid for wasting so much money.
Yeah, of course.
So my mom's like, you stupid kid, and why couldn't you be like other people, get a nice job in a corporate? Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies back in 2013, 2014, for me, was one of those really unique opportunities where it was early stage. Only a small number of people got it, and it's going to be a huge future. So I told myself, I'm not going to miss it. That was an opportunity of a lifetime.
He stopped playing poker. He stopped all his hobbies. He quit his job. He left his friends and spent 9 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week for 5 years working on blockchain technology. Eventually, he started a crypto exchange called Binance, where people can buy and sell crypto to each other. And that blew up. In 5 years, Binance became the biggest crypto exchange in the world with more than 100 million users.
Chills!
That it got so big.
Yes, I was. Originally, when we started, I told my team, let's aim for like the worst top 10 exchange in 3 years. But we got there in 6 months in the top 1.
Binance became so big that it made CZ the richest man in crypto, worth over $60 billion in 5 years.
How do you feel about having so much money?
I don't think money is the most important factor. I don't focus on that. I focus on building products people use, how to make that the most efficient, most impactful thing for the world.
This story.
A dude who hears about Bitcoin at a poker game, sells everything he has to punt it into Bitcoin, doesn't care about money. I don't care about money. No, it's not important to me. And is now, of course, guilty, officially guilty on the record of money laundering. But that's not important.
Is not about crypto and it's not about making money. In fact, CZ doesn't care about money. Look at his clothes.
Priceless.
He has no fancy clothes or cars, and he plans to donate his wealth to charity. This story is about conviction. If you're starting a company or a YouTube channel or a new career, you gotta have conviction that it will work, even when...
It's so funny now that he's been convicted. What a perfect word.
Your mom thinks what you're doing is stupid.
When you know you're right, you just gotta have the stamina to last until the rest of the population catches on.
CZ had conviction in Bitcoin, became the richest person, and changed the world of finance.
Now imagine what you can do if you truly believed in something. We're done. Thank you. We're done. Hey, thank you so much for watching Nas Daily. If you like these videos, I think you would love
these videos, Nas Daily. How much does it cost to get a Nas Daily video? Because I know both CZ and SBF bought their videos. It was paid for. I can't believe it's still up on his channel. I think he took the SBF one down, but he kept that one up. That's really funny. Who likes this shit? I don't know, but all the guy's videos get 40 million views on Facebook. Boomers, I guess. That guy's got the Darman effect, dude. You just make a video, bright colors, shout at the screen. This is Atrioc. He is the world's most humble streamer. And I'll have like a Rolex flash cash. He wears simple whale sweaters.